Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm your host, Ellen, and today we have 100 questions on general knowledge. Let's take a look at our Quiz Class awards. Let us know how you rank in the comments at the end, along with the answer to the bonus question. So let's begin. Truman Capote's book, In Cold Blood, was first published in serial form in what magazine? The New Yorker, The Atlantic, or Life? The New Yorker. Club Med opened its first vacation village in 1950 on what island? Mykonos, Aruba, or Balearic Islands? Balearic Islands. Who starred as Steve McGarrett in the original Hawaii Five-0 series? James MacArthur, Tom Selleck, or Jack Lord? Jack Lord. What popular toy was invented by A.C. Gilbert in 1911? Tinker Toy, Erector Set, or Lincoln Logs? Erector Set. Who directed the 1959 film Pillow Talk? Billy Wilder, Blake Edwards, or Michael Gordon? Michael Gordon. Who was the first official mascot of the Winter Olympics? Neiman, Waldy, or Ice Cub? Neiman. For how many days in 1961 did the MoMA curators display Henri Matisse's work upside down? 73, 47, or 24? 47. What animal did the U.S. give to China in 1972 in exchange for two pandas? Musk oxen, hippopotamus, or sheep? Musk oxen. Which filmmaker directed the video for Michael Jackson's 1987 single, Bad? John Landis, James Cameron, or Martin Scorsese? Martin Scorsese. In 1922, the highest air temperature of 136.4 degrees Fahrenheit was recorded in what country? Egypt, Syria, or Libya? Libya. Which U.S. Olympic team did actress Gina Davis compete for a spot on in 1999? The archery team, the fencing team, or the gymnastics team? The archery team. What planet was named in 1930 by an 11-year-old girl named Venetia Burney? Babin, Pluto, or Venus? Pluto. Which country's basketball team refused its silver medals at the 1972 Olympics? The USSR, Germany, or the United States? The United States. In which year's Olympic Games did swimmer Mark Spitz set a record and win 7 gold medals? 1976 Montreal, 1972 Munich, or 1964 Tokyo? 1972 Munich. In the 1975 thriller Jaws, how many people are seen being killed by the shark? 6, 5, or 4? 4. The first David's bridal shop opened in 1950 in what city? Peoria, Lubbock, or Fort Lauderdale? Fort Lauderdale. Which American competed with an artificial leg and won 3 gold medals at the 1904 St. Louis Olympics? Alvin Brainsline, Ray Aury, or George Iser? George Iser. Which of the following was not one of the 9 original Beanie Babies introduced in 1993? Booties the cat, Mitya bear, or Patty the platypus? Booties the cat. What does the M stand for in RMS Titanic? Maritime, mercantile, or mail? Mail. The series finale of the original Beverly Hills 90210 ends with the gang boogieing down to what song? Dancing Queen, We Are Family, or Celebration? Celebration. Who was the only U.S. president to get married at the White House? James Monroe, Grover Cleveland, or Andrew Jackson? Grover Cleveland. The word tabloid was originally trademarked in 1884 as the brand name for a new type of what? Pill, soap, or ink? Pill. What company's stock has been a part of the Dow Jones Industrial Average the longest? General Electric, Ford, or U.S. Steel? General Electric. What Patrick Swayze film was the first movie ever to be released with a PG-13 rating? Point Break, Roadhouse, or Red Dawn? Red Dawn. In the film Catch Me If You Can, Leonardo DiCaprio uses what comic book character's name as an alias? Barry Allen, Peter Parker, or Clark Kent? Barry Allen. In the 1993 issue of Superman, the Man of Steel dies after a titanic battle with what supervillain? Lex Luthor, Darkseid, or Doomsday? Doomsday. Which bakery has been an official Girl Scout cookie producer since 1939? ABC Bakers, Pepperidge Farm, or Bluebird Bakers? ABC Bakers. Reed Hastings founded Netflix after a Blockbuster charged him a late fee of how many dollars? 60, 40, or 20? 40. For a scene in the film Suspicion, Alfred Hitchcock hid a small lamp inside a what? Glass of water, glass of Coca-Cola, or glass of milk? Glass of milk. In The Graduate, what is the name of the hotel where Benjamin and Mrs. Robinson meet? Sunset Inn, Taft Hotel, or Seaview Hotel? Taft Hotel. During the Cold War, the U.S. government built a bunker for Congress under what resort? Greenbrier Resort, Lake Placid Lodge, or the Broadmoor? Greenbrier Resort. To whom did Vincent van Gogh give his ear after cutting it off? A nurse, a writer, or a prostitute? A prostitute. What product was originally pink because its inventor only had pink dye on hand? Cheese, lollipop, or bubblegum? Bubblegum. The novel Addie Pray by Joe David Brown was adapted into what 1973 film? Sweet Addie, Paper Hearts, or Paper Moon? Paper Moon. What did aerosol cans originally contain when they were first invented? Insecticide, paint, or perfume? Insecticide. Who is known as the father of canning? Claude Bernard, Elias Durand, or Nicholas Appert? Nicholas Appert. Which famous author of children's books was a spy during World War II? Roald Dahl, Dr. Seuss, or C.S. Lewis? Roald Dahl. The first ever video posted on YouTube showed its co-founder, Jared Karim, standing in front of what? Two lions, two elephants, or two zebras? Two elephants. What kind of tree did Katharine Hepburn say she wanted to be in a Barbara Walters interview? Cherry blossom, elm tree, or oak tree? Oak tree. Which musician once said that he held Steve Jobs responsible for killing the music business? Elton John, Billy Joel, or John Bon Jovi? John Bon Jovi. What's the actual name of the skipper on the TV series Gilligan's Island? Jonas, Russell, or Henry? Jonas. For how many minutes did Michael Jordan play during the flu game? 52, 75, or 44? 44 minutes. Which Dr. Seuss book character was based on Adolf Hitler? Horton, Yertle the Turtle, or Sidwick? Yertle the Turtle. Which literary character owned a portrait of himself that aged over time? Victor Hyde, Dorian Gray, or Edward Rochester? Dorian Gray. What food item was the first to be intentionally microwaved in 1945? Apple pie, a cup of soup, or popcorn? Popcorn. The Osterizer was launched in 1946 and was a popular brand of what? Blenders, toasters, or microwaves? Blenders. What was the magnitude of the earthquake that interrupted the 1989 World Series? 6.9, 7.5, or 5.2? 6.9. Which 1977 movie was based on a 1976 magazine article by British journalist Nick Cohn? Close Encounters, Taxi Driver, or Saturday Night Fever? Saturday Night Fever. Which scientist's belongings have been stored in lead-lined boxes due to their radioactivity? Enrico Fermi, Albert Einstein, or Marie Curie? Marie Curie. Which M&M's candy color was replaced by blue in 1999? Tan, pink, or white? Tan. 30 Seconds to Mars is a Los Angeles-based rock band led by which actor? Shannon Leto, Cullen Bixler, or Jared Leto? Jared Leto. What do the letters in the national drugstore chain CVS stand for? Consumer Value Store, Clinical Vendor Services, or Care Value Services? Customer Value Store. Consumer Value Store. What religion did Bob Marley popularize in the 1970s? Rastafari, Baha'i Faith, or Jehovah's Witnesses? Rastafari. Which company's commercial did Jesse White appear in from 1967 to 1988? General Electric, Maytag, or Hoover? Maytag. George Orwell's 1938 book Homage to Catalonia starts with Orwell in which European city? Madrid, Marseille, or Barcelona? Barcelona. What was Juice Newton's name before she changed it in 1978? Julie, Josephine, or Judith? Judith. Harvest gold and burnt orange were trendy colors for kitchen appliances during what decade? The 1960s, 1970s, or 1980s? The 1970s. Which U.S. military leader was given the nickname Old Blood and Guts? George Patton, Omar Bradley, or Douglas MacArthur? George Patton. The Ed Hardy clothing line is named after a person with what profession? Painter, fashion designer, or tattoo artist? Tattoo artist. In which U.S. city did Henry Ford build a replica of Thomas Edison's Menlo Park Laboratory? Dearborn, Rochester, or Albany? Dearborn. Which Bon Jovi song was placed #1 on VH1's 100 Greatest Songs of the 80s? Runaway, Living on a Prayer, or Bad Medicine? Living on a Prayer. The novel The Year the Yankees Lost the Pennant was turned into a 1958 musical with what title? Dan Yankees, The Pride of the Yankees, or For Love of the Game? Dan Yankees. Then in 1956, Chuck Williams opened the first Williams-Sonoma store in which U.S. state? Texas, California, or Florida? California. Which musician wrote the 1989 bestseller book Tales from Margaritaville? Kenny Chesney, Alan Jackson, or Jimmy Buffett? Jimmy Buffett. What mythical creature did Mount Everest explorer Sir Edmund Hillary try to find in 1960? The Yeti, Bigfoot, or Wendigo? The Yeti. Which toy company introduced the popular 1960s doll known as Patty Cathy? Hasbro, Fisher-Price, or Mattel? Mattel. What was the name of the part of the moon where Apollo 11 landed in 1969? The Sea of Tranquility, Sea of Stars, or Sea of Shadows? Sea of Tranquility. Which NBA star is named after an expensive type of beef? Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant, or Angus Williams? Kobe Bryant. Which NFL team's name was inspired by a famous writer's poem? New England Patriots, Chicago Bears, or Baltimore Ravens? Baltimore Ravens. In the 1984 NBA championship trophy, it was renamed to honor which NBA commissioner? J. Walter Kennedy, Maurice Podoloff, or Larry O'Brien? Larry O'Brien. Huey Lewis sued Ray Parker Jr., claiming the theme song for Ghostbusters was a ripoff of which hit? I Want a New Drug, Hip to Be Square, or Back in Time? I Want a New Drug. Which contestant won a total of $110,237 on Press Your Luck in 1984? Kevin Olmsted, Brad Rutter, or Michael Larson? Michael Larson. How many nations were original members of OPEC when it was founded in 1960? 5, 8, or 3? 5. Over 100 tons of what substance was used to clean the Statue of Liberty's inner copper walls in 1986? Ammonia, baking soda, or vinegar? Baking soda. In what year did Mark Badgley and James Mischka launch their fashion label? 1985, 1976, or 1988? 1988. Which country created the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in 1995 to examine its past? Argentina, South Africa, or Rwanda? South Africa. In 1996, Olympic gymnast Carrie Strug landed her vault despite what injury? A knee injury, arm injury, or ankle injury? Ankle injury. Which professional sports league officially retired the uniform number 42 in 1997? MLB, NBA, or NFL? MLB. What type of establishment did Sid Grauman open in LA in 1927? A movie theater, an opera house, or a jazz club? A movie theater. What was the winning word in the first ever Scripps National Spelling Bee in 1925? Gladiolus, flummox, or dulcimer? Gladiolus. Which car was John F. Kennedy in when he was assassinated in 1963? Buick Electra, a Lincoln Continental, or a Ford Thunderbird? Lincoln Continental. In the 1945 novel Animal Farm, what type of animal controls the government of the farm? Pigs, horses, or cats? Pigs. When England adopted the new Gregorian calendar in 1752, the people lost how many days? 5, 11, or 23? 11. In the 1958 film Vertigo, Jimmy Stewart's character has a fear of what? Heights, water, or darkness? Heights. What type of suit did the CIA attempt to manufacture to assassinate Fidel Castro in the 60s? An exploding wetsuit, radioactive flight suit, or infected diving suit? Infected diving suit. In the 1960s, the FBI conducted an investigation to determine the lyrics of which popular song? Purple Haze, Light My Fire, or Louie Louie? Louie Louie. Which writer was the first to use the term atomic bomb in his 1914 novel? Arthur Conan Doyle, H.G. Wells, or Jack London? H.G. Wells. Which country has had the most Miss Universe winners? The United States, India, or Venezuela? The United States. What is hogonology, the study of? Posture, feet, or beards? Beards. Which celebrity dog is buried near the Seine River in a cemetery named Cimetière des Chiens? Rin Tin Tin, Lassie, or Toto? Rin Tin Tin. Which product's 1925 advertisement had the line, often a bridesmaid but never a bride? Lux soap, Pond's cold cream, or Listerine? Listerine. Which of these common automobile features was invented by a woman? A rear view mirror, brake lights, or windshield wipers? Windshield wipers. What type of animal is the hellbender? Salamander, lizard, or snake? Salamander. How many chalk pits known as Aubrey holes can be found at Stonehenge? 71, 56, or 33? 56. The alligator is native only to the United States and which other country? China, Egypt, or Bangladesh? China. Jousting has been the official sport of which U.S. state since 1962? Texas, Virginia, or Maryland? Maryland. According to Crayola, which of these products will help remove crayon stains from washable clothing? Baking soda, OxiClean, or borax? OxiClean. Which candy brand was the first to introduce individually wrapped penny candy? Milk Duds, Necco wafers, or Tootsie Roll? Tootsie Roll. Who came up with the ad slogan, "I'm a Toys R Us kid," along with James Patterson? Linda Kaplan Thaler, Judy Blume or R.L. Stein? Linda Kaplan-Thaler. The Whammo Company got its name from the sound made by which of its products? Super Ball, Slip and Slide, or Slingshots? Slingshots. And our bonus question. According to Godwin's law, the political figure who will inevitably be mentioned in long online discussions is? Let us know the answer in the comments. And of course, how well you did with our Quiz Class Einstein Rewards. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.